Hi everyone, I'm Rebecca Virginia, and today I am showing you brand new spring decor DIYs. Next week I'm going to be focusing mainly on Easter decor, but for this week we are all about the spring. To start off, I am kicking off today's video with another spring wreath. I have really enjoyed making wreaths this season, so I wanted to make another one. Today I'll be using the egg form from the Dollar Tree to create this DIY. Let's get right into it. 2 weeks ago in my DIY video, I made a bunny wreath using Dollar Tree supplies, and I loved so much how that one came out, so I wanted to try my hand at it again, and I'm loving all the wreath forms that the Dollar Tree has out for spring. So for this craft, I'm going to be using the egg one. And very similar to that wreath, I'm going to be covering it in jute. I did use some nautical rope on the last wreath, but for this one, all I am doing is using some jute from the Dollar Tree Crafters Square section, and I wrapped the entire wreath form in it. It did take a while, but I put on a show I liked, and it went by pretty quickly. So once my entire wreath form was covered in jute, it was time to start working on what was going to go on the inside of it. I cut out another egg shape, but smaller, out of some black cardstock, and then I grabbed one of the wood bunny ornaments from the Dollar Tree and covered it in some scrapbooking paper and also adhered a little cottontail to him. My egg wreath is going to have the black cardstock egg hanging inside of it. So to do this, I just hot glued a little bit of jute to the back of the cardstock egg and also to the back of the wreath form. Before I added my wood bunny, I did make a bow out of this black and white buffalo check ribbon. It's one of my favorite bows to make using a zip tie. I will go ahead and link that above if you want to check out a more detailed tutorial. I did that around Christmas time, so again, I will have that linked above. To bring in some spring greenery, I had these little sprigs, so I went ahead and also hot glued those down. They'll be going on either sides of my bow. These I did get from Amazon. They are not Dollar Tree, I have to admit, but they are some of my favorites, so I'll make sure to link them in my shop. My Amazon storefront is always linked down below in the description box. If you ever want to check it out, I have a bunch of my crafting favorites listed. So now that I know exactly how the black craft paper egg is going to be hanging inside of my wreath, I went ahead and hot glued my bunny down into place. This is really going to be the focal point of this entire home decor piece. I also added the same ribbon that I created the bow out of to the top of the DIY project, just to kind of tie the buffalo check in. So I did add some hot glue to that to make sure it stayed in place. And lastly, I needed to create a hanger so I could actually hang this on my front door. So I just grabbed some nautical rope and hot glue that to the back of this wreath. I am definitely going to have a hard decision to make. I don't know if I want to put this one on my front door for Easter or the bunny. I might just have to rotate them out, give one March and give one April, because I really love them both. I have done a couple of bunny bait and carrot themed DIYs in the past in some of my older spring videos, but I think this one has got to be my favorite. I just love the way the carrots are hanging. It really makes it look like a bunny is going to come at any second and come and snatch these up. And all you need are a couple Dollar Tree supplies. I actually saw this DIY on Pinterest. The original creator is The Loft Home Decor, and this was just so cute. Not only did I love that it used Dollar Tree supplies, I just knew that I had to recreate it because I needed it in my home for this spring. So I took the Dollar Tree cloche and also one of the Dollar Tree candlesticks, and then I took my apple barrel paint in the color Umber. It is my favorite dark brown paint, and I am running so low, I have got to pick up some more at Walmart. And my candlestick from the Dollar Tree I actually used in a Christmas DIY, but I am repurposing it, so I'm covering it in that brown paint. And then I went in with my Waverly white chalk paint and a apple barrel chip brush and just distressed everything to make sure that it had that farmhouse look. We're also going to be adding some wood beads on top of our cloche, so I went ahead and painted those brown as well, and then added a little bit of distressing to those with the white paint. Next, it was time to kind of start putting together our bunny trap. So I did grab some jute and just threaded that through the wood bead and tied a knot at the top. I will be hot gluing that to the top of the cloche. And then once I have the bead in place, that's kind of going to be the top of it, it is time to address the carrots. So I took some of my hot glue and just hot glued them together in a trio. I did this first and then I grabbed my jute and kind of figured out the length that I wanted to make sure that it was hanging down from the cloche. The Dollar Tree has two different types of cloches. One is a little bit smaller and this one, on the label it said high cloche, so go with this one if you are going to be recreating this DIY, because the small one is barely even big enough to fit the carrots in, let alone have them dangle a little bit. So again, I placed the jute down into the carrot trio with a bit of hot glue, and then this tricky part, I put a little bit of hot glue on the end of our jute string and then kind of let it dangle down into the cloche and tried to fit my hand in there to finagle it. Definitely make sure if you're doing this that you're using a low temp hot glue gun, otherwise that will really burn your fingers. For the bottom section of the cloche, I took some reindeer moss and just hot glued that down into place. For the bunny bait label on the top of our DIY, I grabbed some of these stickers from the Dollar Tree. I'm not going to be using them as a sticker, so I just kind of cut around the plastic area. I really liked the shape and thought it would be a great label for this project, so I just left the plastic on so it didn't have any of that sticky side. Then I just grabbed one of my black ink pens and wrote out bunny bait. I also hole punched a little area on it so that I can then thread the jute through our little label. I also added a small bead to the front of the bunny bait sign before tying it off. To adhere the cloche onto our Dollar Tree candlestick, I used E6000 as well as hot glue. E6000 is just a little bit more permanent than hot glue and will ensure that my bunny bait DIY stays together. The next two DIYs are actually made from some hanging egg ornaments that the Dollar Tree currently has out. So if you see them in your store, not only is it a great deal because you get two signs for one, but you can create so many adorable spring and Easter projects. For this one, we are going to start off by making our chick, and this is the hanging ornament sign. Again, it does come two to a pack. And first I primed it, so I just painted it white with my Waverly white chalk paint. It is always my go-to. And then I went in with the shade Daybreak by Folk Art. So for the nose and the feet on our chick, I am actually taking some of these heart wood scatters from the Dollar Tree. They have it out during the Valentine's Day season. So to make the feet a little bit more 3D, I am placing down two beads first. The smaller beads are going to be the eyes, but these slightly larger ones I'm going to use to, again, elevate the feet. And what is an adorable baby chick if they don't have that really cute, I actually don't even know what you call it. I know some of you guys have chickens, maybe you're even farmers. What is this little fur area called on the chick? Let me know down below. Do you call it fur? Do you call it hair? So to create it, I just took an orange piece of ribbon, and like you could just see, I just kind of cut it down and then folded it up to create our chicken hair. That's what I'm gonna call it. You gotta let me know in the comments down below. What is this actually called? Then I used my hot glue to adhere the hearts to the tops of those little wood beads, and now we have our little chick's feet. For the beak of our chick, we're going to do pretty much the same thing, but this time on the orange heart, I went ahead and adhered it so the pointy part of the heart is actually facing out. And then I grabbed these smaller wood beads that I painted black and placed those on for the eyes. I am a big lover of the farmhouse style, so pretty much any chance I get, I am going to choose to distress my DIY projects. To do this, I always go in with my apple barrel chip brush and my favorite dark brown, Burnt Umber by Apple Barrel. It always gives a really nice distressed farmhouse look. So now that you have seen the cute side of what you can do with this DIY piece from the Dollar Tree, I'm going to show you a little bit more elegant way that you can style the egg ornaments from Dollar Tree. So the first one, we made the cute little chick that is a great craft that you can do with kids. And now I'm going to show you something that you can style in your home. This looks really great on a book stack as a nice Easter or spring decor piece. We're starting off with that same egg decor ornament, but this time instead of painting it, I'm going to be covering it in some scrapbooking paper. I actually picked this up last year from Hobby Lobby and I thought it was so gorgeous. I used it on an egg ornament last year. I will insert a picture of that. So I wanted to use it again because I haven't used it at all this year. So I just traced out the shape of the egg and then went ahead and adhered that down. I didn't have Mod Podge in my hand reach. Usually I would do that, but I was being a little bit lazy, so I just grabbed my hot glue gun because it was already on. The beads and tassel are actually from a Dollar Tree blank that is currently out. It is a tag sign with, again, the beads and tassel. So I just unhooked it from that sign and then threaded it through the hole that I created in this DIY project. Next up are two really fun DIYs that would be great to do with kids. These definitely brought me back to my elementary school days. I remember doing really similar projects on paper plates when it was Easter and springtime at my school. You'll have to let me know in the comments down below, did you guys do crafts when it was Easter or springtime at your school? I just have such vivid memories of using the kids' Crayola paint on the white paper plates. So I am taking the wood slices from the Dollar Tree and I'm going to be making a chick and another cute spring creature. I also, again, used those wood hearts from Dollar Tree. I painted them yellow to match our chick and then orange for the little chick's feet. And the exact same method that I did on the larger egg ornament is what I did for this little chick's hair. I took one of my orange ribbons and just kind of cut it up, and then to create its adorable little face, all I did was use some paint. You can help out your kids with the hot glue part or even adhere the hearts down with some tape, and they would have a lot of fun painting these Dollar Tree wood slices. If the chicks aren't your style, another way that you can do this DIY is turn it into a bunny. You're going to be using pretty much the same items, taking those wood slices from the Dollar Tree. I found these in the Crafter Square section, and I grabbed some white paint for the bunny and just went all the way around. These are ornaments, so they do have a little hole in them, so I just made sure to flip mine upside down so the bunny's cotton tail will cover up that hole. And again, I am putting the wood hearts from Dollar Tree to use. I had no idea that I'd be using them so much during the springtime and not so much during Valentine's Day. So I painted those white, and those are going to be the bunny's paws. Then I also took one of the cotton tails that the Dollar Tree came out with in a 24 pack, and I went ahead and hot glued that to the bottom of the wood slice. For the bunny's ears, I just freehanded out some shapes, traced them, and then cut them out of this scrapbooking paper. I got this paper from Hobby Lobby, and it was so pretty, I knew that I wanted to use it as the bunny ears on this DIY. The last step was using some hot glue to adhere the hearts to the bottom of our project to be the bunny's feet. Just be careful with this because it is a circular decor piece. You had to really position the hearts in a correct place just to make sure that this could actually stand up on its own. Thanks so much for watching. Until next time, keep searching, keep creating.